How many of you watching this video today can give out 20 to 30,000 Canadian dollars to somebody you don't have a previous relationship with, probably for the purpose of coming to study in Canada? Even if this person is your family member, your friend, and you haven't even been in touch with this person, let's say in the past year, 1 to 2 years, 2 to 5 years, and the person suddenly comes to you to say, "Hey, I just got admitted to study in Canada and I'd like you to sponsor me." Are you going to give that person 20 to 30,000 Canadian dollars just like that to study in Canada? If you're that person, please let us know in the comment section below. Anything can happen, miracles still happen, so I don't doubt it. But the point I'm trying to make in this video is the chances are very slim and it is very unlikely that you're going to give out that much to somebody you don't even have a relationship with. In the same manner, you don't expect the visa officer to believe that somebody is sponsoring you to study in Canada without you being able to prove your relationship with that person, or let the visa officer know why this person is willing to sponsor you in the first place. And so, guys, in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a couple of GCMS notes with you guys. These are notes of people who were denied visa to Canada. I'm reviewing it to you guys with the hope that it's going to help you not to make the same mistakes and probably put up a better application when you're applying to help you increase your chances of approval. I will not be giving out any personal information because these notes are actually for people and I'm only using it for the purpose of education. And so if you're wondering what a GCMS note means, GCMS stands for Global Case Management System, and GCMS notes are basically the electronic notes of the visa officer that reviewed your visa application to Canada. Usually when you apply for a visa to Canada and you get denied, you always get a refusal letter, and this letter contains generic reasons as to why you're being denied or refused entry or visa to Canada. Sometimes you could see things like you're denied based on your personal assets and financial status, or you're denied based on your purpose of visit, and you're confused because most of the times those who were denied for financial reasons have enough monies in their accounts and they're wondering, why did I get refused with all this monies in my account? And that's where the GCMS note comes in, because it gives you a detailed reason and an explanation as to why you were being denied for financial reasons despite having those amounts of monies in your account. And that's what we're going to be looking at in today's video. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Celine Chibuzo, and in this channel I break down all you need to know about studying, living and thriving in Canada. I also like to share my knowledge and life experiences. If this sounds like something you like, why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post more videos. And for my old subscribers, thank you guys so much for always showing up. And so, guys, without further ado, let's dive right in. I'm going to be looking away a little bit because I have the notes on my computer and we'll be reviewing it together. So I'll read the first one. The applicant is applying for a study permit to pursue engineering technology. I'm not going to be stating the exact engineering, but engineering technology at a college in Canada. Partial tuition payment noted, 10,000 Canadian dollars. 1 year tuition fee is about 19,595 Canadian dollars. Applicant is financially sponsored by, they mentioned the name of the person. Support letter indicates that the sponsor is the applicant's uncle that resides in Canada. I note supporting documents such as tax documents, employment letter, and pay slips for the sponsor. However, the applicant did not provide sufficient evidence of relationship nor sponsorship, that's deposit into the applicant's account and or direct tuition payments. Based on the documentation on file and the limited information demonstrating nature of relationship between applicant and what appears to be a financial sponsor, I have concerns that third-party funds will be sufficient and available for the proposed studies application refused. Guys, this is very clear. The person is the applicant's uncle, as he stated. The uncle has not showed any commitment that you're going to be sponsoring this person. Firstly, you reside in Canada as the uncle. This person is coming to study in Canada. School fees is to be paid in Canadian dollars, and you have not made payment for this person's school fees directly from your account. Let them see that, yes, you're in Canada, you have Canadian dollars, and you have paid this person's school fees. Neither did you try to make a deposit to this person's account, and you're just telling us on paper that you're going to sponsor the person. The visa officer is not convinced that your funds in your account is going to be available to this person when he or she finally comes to study in Canada. Secondly, this person has not provided sufficient proof of relationship. This person is your uncle and you're just mentioning it. How can you prove to the visa officer that this is your uncle? Is he your mother's brother? Is he your father's brother? Do you have your birth certificate showing your parents' name? Do you have any documents to show your mother's maiden name? Do you have where your mother did a change of name, probably when she married your dad? Do you have pictures, times where your uncle visited home, you guys had a family event, either church, a wedding, burial, whatever it is? So for those of you that don't like appearing in pictures, when somebody is taking picture, you'll be like, oh, I don't like appearing, I don't like to show. It will come in handy at times like this. I've stated it before. Better still, if the pictures were taken long time ago, even before you thought of coming to Canada, it's going to give credibility to your application. I know somebody who has also gotten approved by using her sister as a sponsor also here in Canada. And the sister did well to show her source of funds and also show her relationship with her sister. You see communication, right? They talk, they have their chats, they have call history. This her sister has been supporting her over the years, even while she was still schooling back home. She can show evidences of transfers from this sister constantly to her. They had pictures of even when her elder sister did wedding and they were all over the place, pictures of them. With this ones, you know that yes, these people have relationship and they also had like the birth certificate showing the name of their parents, showing the sister's maiden name. Like give them everything you need to show that this is my relationship with this person, okay? And let the person make a commitment to show that I'm going to sponsor you. It's not enough to just say it on paper, right? I hope you understand what I'm trying to say about this one. Let's move to the next one. I have reviewed the application. The applicant's assets and financial situation are insufficient to support the stated purpose of travel for the applicant and any accompanying family members if applicable. The applicant, who is the principal applicant, is 42. They have applied for a temporary permit to attend a college to study project management, provincial attestation letter provided. The length of the applicant's chosen program is 4 years, and their sister is to sponsor for the duration of their studies. Sponsor is one of a partners in a business. Limited evidence of company viability and reported income. Corporate bank statement is volatile with frequent low balances. I am not satisfied that this is a stable source of funds. Letter of sponsorship on file from the sponsor's practice or company indicating that a scholarship of 6,500 card was awarded to the applicant. I note that there is insufficient documentation on file indicating that the sponsor has authorization to award the applicant with additional corporate funds. The PA bank statement demonstrates routinely low balances. On second last day of the statement period, a large deposit was received. PA indicates that this is from their sponsor, but there is insufficient documentary proof of this transfer based on the documentation provided and that the applicant is fully reliant on the sponsor's funds. I am not satisfied that the applicant has provided sufficient evidence of their sponsor's stable source of funds and the PA unhindered access to sufficient funds to cover the remaining tuition, living expenses, and travel costs. Based on the financial documents submitted, I am not satisfied that the applicant has sufficient funds to pay for living expenses for the proposed studies. A tuition deposit was paid since the school fees for the first academic year was not paid in full, and evidence on file does not adequately establish applicants' access to sufficient funds to support the proposed course of study in Canada and associated expenses, I am not satisfied that the proposed studies would be a reasonable expense. Weighing the factors in this application, I am not satisfied that the applicant will depart Canada at the end of their period authorized for their stay. For the above reasons, I have refused the application. So, guys, you see, this is very clear. This is very explanatory. Lots of complications. Firstly, the person is taking a 4 years course. 4 years is a lot of time and will require a lot of money. And if you don't have that much, you rather go for something lesser. Secondly, this is a mature applicant who has not been able to show or demonstrate that they are financially stable or they can stand on their own to an extent before getting support from somebody. The visa officer is saying they are totally dependent on their sponsor. The person has not showed that, oh, I'm working, this is my salary account, this is my own statement of account showing my own salary or my source of fund. Everything is based on the person's sister. Now, the sister has a business account. This business is not a sole proprietorship, it's a partnership. So she has somebody listed with her on the corporate account documents. And now she's giving you a scholarship without a formal letter from the company to state that there is an agreement that we are going to be sponsoring this person. I've said it before in one of my videos. The fact that you own a corporate account, as long as you've listed somebody there as a co-director or a partner with you cannot claim sole ownership of the funds that this business generates. The belief that whatever comes into that business should be shared between you and your other partner. So, what part of this money belongs to you and what other part belongs to the partner? Why would you use the corporate fund to sponsor your brother? Is your partner aware? Is there any written documentation? And what does the company stand to gain or benefit, anyways, from this? That is why it's advisable to use a personal account. Your sister has a corporate account, she's running jointly with somebody. There is a portion of that money that belongs to her. She received monthly payments, salaries, or whatever from that account. Let her use her own account. Even if inflows are coming from this company, they will see that, yes, we have this company, from whatever we make, this is my portion of the money. And from my portion, I want to sponsor my brother. So it has nothing to do with the business funds. Because from the business fund, you probably have workers, you have to pay logistics, rent, and all that. That's how the government, or that's how the visa officer sees the application. And now this applicant has lump sum deposits that came into their account shortly before the printed statement of account. And they're telling the visa officer that this money came from my sister, who is my sponsor. Why are you not showing your sister's statement of account? Let them see the date that money left your sister's account into your account. When I applied for study permit, I stated that my husband made a huge transfer to me. And I wrote there that he transferred this amount to me on this date to support with my living expense. He also wrote it in his sponsorship letter that on this day, I made a transfer of this amount to my wife as a commitment to show that I'm going to be willing to sponsor her. We provided both statements, and you will see the money leaving his account and the money entering my account. So you don't say the money came from your sister without being able to show her statement of account. Let them see that this money indeed came from your sister's account. So this person did not provide enough supporting documents, and that is why this particular application has been denied. So let's move on to the next one. I have reviewed the application. I have considered the following factors in my decision. The applicant's asset and financial situation are insufficient to support the stated purpose of travel for the applicant and any accompanying family members if applicable. Proof of funds on file from the sponsor, who is their auntie and third party. Noted partial tuition payment. Sponsor lives in the US and has provided a bank statement. There is limited evidence demonstrating how sponsor came to accumulate significant savings. Financial information is not supported with an employment letter confirming salary composition and position, pay slips, or evidence of income tax paid to support the account balance on file. I have concerns that third party funds will be available for the proposed studies. There is limited obligation for third party to provide ongoing financial support. In the absence of satisfactory documentation, I'm not satisfied that the applicant has sufficient and available financial resources to pay the tuition fees for the program of studies that they intend to pursue and to pay for living expenses while in Canada. Weighing the factors in this application, I am not satisfied that the applicants will depart Canada at the end of the period authorized for their stay. For the reasons above, I have refused this application. So, guys, this is another one. This person's auntie lives in the US. She had enough money in her account, but she has failed to say or prove how she made this money. She has not provided her employment letter if she's employed, or if she's a business person, to show she has a business and the source of funds. So it's not okay to have enough money or large sums of money in your account without being able to prove or justify how you made the money. She didn't even show anything about her tax filing for them to see that, oh, this is what you made in a year and this is the tax you filed, everything corresponds. So you have to be very careful, guys. It's not enough to say, oh, I have somebody who has large money, I'm going to use their account because you're looking for large balance. I would say that the visa officer is even much more interested in how you made the money than the balance you're showing them. That is why you can see that there are instances where somebody has 10,000 closing balance and the person gets approved, and somebody who is having 50 to 60,000 closing balance does not get approved. It depends on the presentation and how the money was made and what you explain to the visa officer, because that 10,000 person could have an account that has enough inflow, comes in and goes out. They see that money comes in and goes out and there's every likelihood that more money will come. It's so clear to the visa officer and more convincing compared to somebody who just got like 50,000 and just left it there, locked it up for the purpose of the application. So I hope you guys listen to this one and you're getting some knowledge and experiences from it. So let's move to the next one. I have reviewed the application. I have considered the following factors in my decision. The applicant's asset and financial situation are insufficient to support the stated purpose of travel for the applicant and any accompanying family members if applicable. Applicant is funded by self and spouse. A personal bank statement shows funds seem available. However, financial documents are not well supported with evidence of source of the funds. Applicant and spouse own a business and business registration documents and some invoices on the file noted, but insufficient documents to demonstrate their business financial establishment. Excuse me. To demonstrate their business financial establishment. Although proof of tuition payment on file noted, in the absence of satisfactory documentation showing the source of these funds, I am not satisfied that the applicant has sufficient funds for the intended purpose. Weighing the factors in this application, I am not satisfied that the applicant will depart Canada at the end of the period authorized for their stay. For the reasons above, I have refused the application. So you guys, you see this one is also very clear. This person is being sponsored by him or herself and the spouse. Of course, they have their business account. They provided registration documents, maybe the business account as well. There's money there. They have large deposits and stuff. Probably might be their business, but they did not show how they made the money. So having a business account with big money inside of it, it doesn't make the visa officer go crazy. Not all business generate large sums of money. So what is your business into? What do you guys do? And how did you come about this money? Did you show invoices, receipts? Do you have a contract from the government or from one company to do this or that? Are there invoices at that times? Or do you buy and sell? Do you do import and export? Do you have receipts with dates and transactions? Do you have, agreements? Whatever. How can you prove or how can you justify the monies you have? It's not okay or it's not enough to just have large sum in your account, but also let them know how you made the money. I keep saying it. Let's move on to the next one. We're not going to waste much time. I have reviewed the application. I have considered the following factors in my decision. Bank statement provided. Initial balance shows a low sum that has increased to a large closing balance. Multiple lump sum deposits over a short period noted. Limited evidence pertaining to the source of these funds. The significant change in bank balance led to the point that the bank account was inflated for the visa application in order to meet financial establishment and sustainability for the first and subsequent years of studies. I have concerns that these funds are for demonstration purposes only and are not reflective of the applicant's legitimate financial resources. In the absence of satisfactory documentation showing the source of these funds, I am not satisfied the applicant has sufficient funds for the intended purpose. Weighing the factors in this application, I am not satisfied that the applicant will depart Canada at the end of the period authorized for their stay. I don't need to say much on this one. It's similar to the other one I just said. These are for people who get monies from wherever and just deposit it into your account. You had low balances in the previous months, and then all of a sudden you start receiving lump sum deposits, or your balances just grow out of the blues. You're receiving money that is not consistent with what has been coming into your account before, and you're not explaining to the visa officer where this money came from. Did you sell the property? Do you have a proof? Do you have an evidence? Do you have a receipt? Whatever. Did you sell it yourself? Did you go through a broker? All these things should be stated on file. So let's move on. I have reviewed the application. No payment of tuition. Bank statement provided from principal applicant is poorly documented. While I note letter of employment and few pay stubs provided on file, however, bank statement provided does not reflect payroll deposits or salary pay to corroborate employment information on file. Bank statement on file shows inconsistencies in format, spacing, and alignment, which raises concern if the stated funds would be available for the intended studies. The documentation provided in support of the applicant's financial situation does not demonstrate the funds would be sufficient or available for tuition, living expenses, and travel. I am not satisfied that the applicant has sufficient funds for the intended international study. Applicant has provided a letter from the bank stating that an applicant maintains an investment with the balance stated. Financial information is not supported with evidence of income tax for the investment on file. In the absence of satisfactory documentation showing the source of these funds, I am not satisfied that the applicant has sufficient funds for the intended international study during their stay in Canada. For the reasons above, I have refused this application. So, guys, you see this one, they're trying to say that this person altered the bank statement because it doesn't look consistent. The spacing, the alignment from one page to the other is not consistent. And this person did not make any school fees payments. So that's what I'm saying. You have all this money as you claim. Why are you not making a commitment? Why are you not paying your school fees? Why are you just leaving the money in your account and you're not paying for your fees when you have all this money? You also say you have an investment. Usually when you book an investment and stuff, like if it is matured, rolled over time or something like that, you usually get like an interest. Your statement is not showing that this is interest that came into your account as a result of this investment that you have, and then you're just stating it on file. How do you want to prove to the visa officer? Everything I've showed you guys today borders on finances and how to present it. And I know that that is where a lot of people are having challenges. So I hope you go through this video in detail and that is going to help you in your application so that you put up a better one out there with the hope that your visa will get approved. Thank you guys so much for watching today. And if you have any question, please don't forget to put it in the comment section and I'll answer you to the best of my ability. Thank you guys and see you in my next video. Bye.